Barbershop with Q.
Oh, okay.
John, the Magnificent.
I'm with that.
I was just trying to amp it up, you know.
Okay. Grind me thirsty, bout it, you heard me. Grind me thirsty, bout it, you heard me. Grind me thirsty, bout it, you heard me.
Live at the Barbershop.
I don't hear you. Can you hear me now? Okay. I can't hear you. John, I can't hear you. I can't even hear myself. I'm gonna leave the studio and come back.
Hold on. We trying to figure this out. Hold on. Let me wait till she come back in. See if it fix the problem. Because I can hear her. She can hear me. Oh, she can't hear me.
Yes,
I can hear her.
Yeah, but she can't hear you.
Can you hear? Trish, can you? No sound. Okay.
Not hearing you. No.
How about now? Anyone hear us now? Somebody reply. Let me know if you can hear us now. Now we can hear you. Okay, all right, good. All right, good. Back on it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay. So until she gets back here, let's just speak on it right now. So part 2, moving into Sundown Towns. So there's a few things. I don't even want to. Kate has a few things that she wanted to touch on. I have a few things I wanted to touch on, but I wanted to do it after she does what she's doing.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, let's speak on it. So now with us on a whole, the other day I had a discussion and we were talking about the separation situation. All right, I think she's back in. All right, Smith, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Good. We can hear you. All right, there we go. Okay, I was about to get into something, but I'm gonna let you get into the segment that you wanted to touch on for part 2. Said it was 4. Speaking on it last night, there's 4 different things that you wanted to touch on.
Yes. So with Sundown Towns and Counties, we're now looking at the second generation of Sundown Towns and Counties. So those towns were historically sundown, but now maybe some Blacks or Hispanics or other races now live in those towns and counties. So now it's a little different. It's you're stimulating their economy. So they're allowing you to be there to work, to for tourism. But after the sun goes down, you cannot be there. So a lot of towns, well, not a lot, but some there's 4 things that you can do, if your town or county can do to show that there's a possibility of a change. One is to admit your past.
Admit
in
the
order
past.
to reveal, admit the past. In order to heal, you must reveal. So you have to reveal.
Okay.
In order to heal any situation. And vicariously, we have picked up this trauma from generation to generation. The second is to apologize to what took place. No one is saying that 21st century people, because I was told not to use the white too much, but 21st century people, no one is saying that you're responsible. But we're going to apologize because I'm not responsible for a lot of things that my culture have done to others, but I can apologize. So just be strong enough to apologize. And then the vow that what took place will never take place again. So then you want to work towards racial healing and cleansing. That means inclusivity. So when we party, when we have a cookout, everybody comes. When you have a cookout, everybody is invited. Okay.
Right.
So those 4 things, those are simple things. It's not saying you did anything wrong. It's not saying your grandfather did anything wrong.
Right.
It's just saying that we accept responsibility, because in order for us to create a better place for the next generation, especially because I love my grandkids so much, I'm gonna go hard for them.
Right.
I have nothing to lose right now. So I'm locked and loaded. So this is for my grandsons, because I refuse to let them be beaten because of the color of their skin, to lose anything, because also their mother is white.
Okay.
So let me ask you a question. With a dynamic like that, what's the tension in the house when it comes to,
You've been through so much, and
it's a lot of tension, because in some ways my sons feel as though that I'm being racist. And it's like, what? Are you serious? I mean, I understand you love her. I love her too. But we got to put responsibility where responsibility lies. Now check this out. Since she's been dating my son, my oldest grandson is 7. Her maternal side does not talk to her. They disowned her. So my
Wow.
grandsons, my grandchildren, they now have 3 children, will never know that side of the family.
Yeah, so your son know the struggle you've been through with the situation, and he's still not accepting that
No,
you've
no,
been
no.
through a lot.
No, and you know what was really sad is that a lot of black men
Yeah.
feel as though that black women have been too strong, because my sons have said that, and they've stated that's why I will not marry a black woman.
I've
And,
always
and, and I
heard it.
and I don't mean to say this because I can say this, but I think that's a. I mean, can I curse? Because that's a bitch ass reason. You know, and so we have these tissue ass feeling men out here right now, and I take responsibility. I spoiled them, yes.
Mm.
So we have these tissue feeling men that feel like, oh well, you know, black women are too strong or too masculine. Well, we had to have that, but if you would just be the man that we need you to be, then maybe we can take that coat of masculinity off and walk into our body's essence. Because I like being feminine. You know, I want
Yeah.
to be girly all the time. I don't want to have a bow and arrow and a gun and hunt. But Google was my man on and off for many years to change my windshield wipers or change my oil. I had to go to Google.
So now here's the thing now. So the main thing that I had to touch on with this whole situation with Sundown Town, and I watched the response because I sent out a blast to a lot of family, friends, and stuff like that. And the response, I would think it would be a lot more people that would be like, yo, I did not know that. And whoa, I got to check into that. And I got to get the app and I got to do this and I got to do that. The problem with it, go ahead.
You know what's so crazy? Because when I share with people that I won an election and I was the first black person to win in this county, they think it was 30 years ago. This was 2019 when I won this election.
Mm.
And 2021, they made it clear. I mean, even though they called me the N-word on a regular basis, I would wake up, you know, I'm like, I woke up that way, you know, I didn't change. But every time, you know, it felt like, is this really 21st century?
Yeah.
So, you know, so a lot of people, even now, they say, well, wait a minute. Why are you talking about long time ago? I said, I'm not. I came back to North Carolina due to death threats in 2021. That wasn't a long time ago.
No, that's not that long ago.
No.
So how could someone question that? Like, what you're talking about, something like that? It's crazy.
I think, honestly, for me moving around state to state and hearing people, the programming, man. That's the only thing I can say. The programming, because there's nothing else. I can't explain it. Yeah, let me tell you something. I've been from Detroit all the way down California, throughout all the states. Okay, and I think the only place I haven't been to is like Denver and stuff like that. But all the Midwest and all that stuff, been there. The problem with it now that I'm seeing is not it's not in the forefront because the programming tucked it away. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In our own neighborhoods. I've been to St. Louis. Love it out. The people out there, it's love. So shout out to everybody I know out in St. Louis and everything like that. But again, you just become accustomed to certain things. And this has been something that has been designed from day one. Sundown Towns, redlining, you know, the DEIs, all these affirmative act, all these different things have been the 40 acres and a mule. You got it, you don't have it, you know, pull your bootstrap up. People don't understand something that you may look at it now because you driving Tesla and driving all these little fancy little things now. So you live in you think you're in the futuristic situation right now, and that's back in the days. Let me tell you something. Just like everything else, fashion, music, a lot of things that we've heard before comes back in circles.
Yeah.
comes back in circles. And if you think that the game plan is not being put in order, go ahead, fool yourself.
And it's like, no, what's happening at this moment? People are losing their rights. And
my bad.
Yeah.
Let me bring my man in. AP, AP, you in the building?
AP,
I'm not sure if he got in his mic. Mike. AP, you in the building?
You gotta do it.
Yeah.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, I'm here. Give me a second.
All right, we'll do. We're gonna keep it moving.
But you know, earlier,
gummy bears.
Go ahead, Kate.
Early 2024, I want to give a shout out to Norman City, Oklahoma, because they formally took a stand and acknowledged, condemning, and apologizing for their city's formal status as a sundown.
That's good. That's good.
Yes, and so there's communities that want to move forward. And you know, and like, so Ferguson, Missouri, that's a typical example of a second generation sundown, because a second generation sundown, we allow you to live here, but every person that you come in contact with, from white police force to an all white, all your teachers are white, and at the Board of Education, every person that you have to go to for assistance is white. You don't see any color. That's what's secondary. That's a second generation sundown. Because now it's called a gray town. Because with a gray town, that means that, like what Mississippi just did, a lot of places in Mississippi, the juries and everything are all white. So how is that my peers when I don't even know most of them?
Yeah.
Set up. That's a setup.
Yes. And so all that is like you stacking the deck.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
In one favor. And Alabama has been that way. June of last year, Robert Fuller, 24, was found hanging from a tree in Palmdale, California, and his death was ruled suicide. Now, Palmdale, California was once called the Confederacy of Southern California. All the deaths in Sundown Towns are all ruled no foul play,
right,
and suicide. We have too much resilience. We don't kill ourselves like that.
Right.
You know, if I'm mad at my family or at my job, I'm not gonna kill myself just in your town.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially when I don't live there or near there.
Yeah.
You didn't do anything to hurt me. So I'm not gonna so that's not how suicide doesn't work that way. And they
let me put the YouTube politically correct is unalive yourself, because for some reason these people,
I'm sorry.
It's cool. At least we got to get used to all of that too. So it's all love, But again, the problem, I would expect more of our people to really, really want to wake up on a lot of things, because I'm not gonna lie,
to be concerned.
It is disheartening when I see so many, and I'm not even talking about strangers. I'm talking about individuals that I personally know, I work with, I'm family with, I'm friends with, and different things of that nature. I'm not even going outside the box yet, but even when I go outside the box to strangers, it's only a few of us that honestly, it feels like we're not from this planet. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because it's like we're the aliens and they're, because to us, we're so far ahead on the thought pattern that everything that's moving 1,000 miles, we seeing it in slow motion. And we asking everybody else, yo, you're not seeing what I'm seeing? You're not seeing this? And no, and then the funny part about it, when they say, "Oh, you tripping, you this, you that," a couple of weeks later, or a couple of months later, it really does come to fruition.
Yeah, things has to be.
Or someone else puts it on TikTok or something, and they're like, "Oh, did you hear about this?" Like, yo, I said that like 2-3 months ago.
Yeah, that's the thing. If they're not seeing it on social media, it's not happening.
That's the problem.
You should tell them it's not there for them because they haven't seen it on TikTok, social media, Facebook. Nobody's talking about it. So
take a look at this. Detroit. Right? And this is it all ties in. This is what I'm trying to tell everybody. It all ties in. Everybody might, stick to something. This is all the subject. This is what you fail to realize. This is all the subject. Sundown Town. Prior to that, when slaves were free, here's 40 acres and a mule, right? Here's 40 acres.
And a mule.
Each little family supposed to get a plot, right?
Yeah.
Acres. They say one thing, then they take it back. I was telling the story the other day. I was with a young man out in Chicago. We sitting down in the park one day, right? It's a couple of us out there. I'm the only outsider. So I said to him, at the time, I said, listen, when we get a chance, I want to shoot down the O Block and go check something out real quick. He says, well, why you want to go down the O Block? I said, I want to go to O Block because that's just, listen, wherever I go in the hood. Okay? Wherever I go in the hood. I'm in Detroit, I'm in the hood.
I traveled with him and
I'm in the gutter. I'm in the gutter with everybody else. I'm standing. I'm on the corners. Yo, what up? It's love. Because again, you come with respect. You good. That's anywhere you go. So the kid starts to say to me, well, I don't hang out in those neighborhoods and I don't hang with those people and da-da-da. And I'm like, well, aren't you from Chicago? Yeah. I'm like, dog, listen. We're not stupid at the end of the day. I'm not gonna go to O Block and be walking in in the foregrounds and taking pictures. Come on, man. We know how to move. So
I go to the Crips, bro.
Nah.
So red.
He ain't listen. When I was in LA, I was getting ready to go to a party in the Crip neighborhood. So, but one thing I explained to him when we were in the park, I said, listen. Where did you grow up? He said he grew up in an all-white school, all-white neighborhood. I said, well, how's that? You adopted? No. So how's that? He has his mother and father and his sister, but a white family took him in. I said, okay, that's different. So I'm like, all right, well, listen, let me ask you a question then. Let's just hypothetically say right here in the park where we at, this was all apple groves, right? And it's 300 acres. To the left is 100, in the center is 100, to the right is 100. Your grandfather was freed, and the owner said, here, I'm giving you 100. Take that for all the headaches that was given. Said, all right, cool. It shook hands. That was the word. Your word is your bond. Shaking hands, that's what it was. There's no contracts back then, right? So now, Earl to the left, Jim Bob to the right. Every day they get up, they see this black man in the middle, tending to the land. They're saying, look, we don't think that's right. We don't believe he deserves that. Why he got that? He got the same amount I got. You understand what I'm saying? You know what they do? They get up one day and they say to him, nah, we're taking that. You got any deed or anything? No, the guy that gave it to me said that I can have it. I'm free now, blah, 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 blah. Nah, we're not hearing that. You got to go. They take it from him. They split it. Now they have 150 each, right? Now, that kid told me, well, all blacks have to do, strap up their bootstrap and make it happen. They could make it happen. They could go ahead and get something. He could work hard and get back. I said, no chance. You know why? Those 150 acres now is Mott's apple or Dole's fruit or whatever.
Yeah.
Generations of generations continuing to make that money. How long do you think it's going to take for that grandfather that got the land taken for him to go move to another area and try again?
Yeah.
How long is it going to take? How do you catch up? There's no way of catching up.
You're right, and it wasn't 40 acres and a mule because the souls, W.E.B. Du Bois' book, The Souls of Black Folks, shared a whole different story because he was asked to be a part of the distribution of the black people because they had too many. So we was in concentration camps. So they just turned slavery into sharecropping. That's what they did. Okay, so now we still living on the same plantation because it's no Africa for us because we was here. And then even if someone was to believe the lie of 1619, there's still no Africa for us in 1926.
You know, with the shared crops, You know what the fields are now? In 2025, 2024, 2023, in reverse. It's called the prison system.
Yes. Oh my goodness, yes. The prison system is designed completely after the Willie Lynch letter. Because I don't know if everyone knows, but the Department of Correction, your state facilities, they give all prisoners, when they come in from the county to go through processing before they do their time, they give them an in-the-grade test like your 5th grader has to see how smart they are, to see where they're going to place them.
Wow.
Yes.
You know,
that's what happens in processing. It's not just scrubbing them down and making sure. No, it's they're testing them to see. And are we going to put and because one of my clients, I was a reentry coach through the federal prison, and one of my clients was like, you know, when he went to state prison, he was like, you know, I failed calculus, and I'm looking at him like, what you talking about? You going to prison? You're not in school no more. You passed that. And he didn't even graduate. He didn't have a high school diploma. And he said, I can't believe all I felt was calculus. I said, on what? He said, they test us. Wow. And when I started talking to the CEOs, and they was like, yeah, they at the processing center, they give them a whole, like similar to an end-of-grade test to see how smart they are.
So this more to separate them or so forth.
Yes.
I know who is going to be the trouble. And
yes.
That's called a job.
Yes. And recently, in the recent months, they are you know, the ratio from correction officer to prison is supposed to be 12 in the day room, but it's been 40. You can't control 40. 13 people were stabbed 2 weeks ago in North Carolina.
Listen,
at one prison. You can't have 40
look. Let me tell you something. I don't know if you ever read this book, right? It's called it's a couple of them. One is called Black Robe, White Justice. That's one. That's a good one. And oh man, I can't remember the other one. But I believe within that same book also, it spoke on the whole term itself when they say projects. And when we look at, well, I don't know about anywhere else, but in New York, we know about projects. Jersey, you know about projects. Certain spots in the South, they say projects, I guess, just for people who migrated from New York to, you know, because their projects not saying like ours. If you ain't got like 13, 14 floors, it's not, you know. So
the elevators,
you know, you talk about 3 floors, that's not the projects. You know what I mean? But at the part of the thing with the word itself, project, is the same thing like what you're speaking about. They put mice in a confined space and watch how they react, right? So they put them in a wide space and they start to shrink it down. And as it shrinks down, the reaction from the mice is to start biting each other and starting to make way to figure out, I need this space. I need this space. And it's the same. So when I try to tell people, listen, it is everything that you get up and see and move around with, and you're looking like, oh man,
it's designed.
It's been planned out. It's mapped out already.
It's been planned.
You don't control anything that happens in your day-to-day movement besides praying and walking out.
Yeah.
Because once you walk out, all bets is off on anything that goes down.
Yeah, you're facing that.
You understand? You pump gas, they design that. How much you gonna pay? We design that. You say the same thing. We're at work. If you're the person that stands out and say, this is wrong, you're a troublemaker. Get rid of him. You understand what I'm saying? This is how everything is like this. So it keeps you confined to stay in your space. Don't get involved. Don't do this. And that's why the neighborhood's no longer is a village.
And
you understand? It's no longer a village.
Because telling yourself you're not like them because you're not speaking up.
Because no one wants to sacrifice that comfort zone.
Yeah.
I'm driving a new electric car. I can't afford to lose whatever to go back to a Honda Civic or something. You know, you understand that type of mentality.
Yeah.
That's why now we don't have as many leaders.
No.
I mean, take a look at it. Back in the days, people sacrificed so much so that you could do what you're doing now. Think about it. for someone to just get, all right, when we were talking about Virginia and the love versus Virginia, the loving versus Virginia situation, we're talking about a black and white couple back then.
Yeah.
You standing up against a whole entire state to say something is right or wrong took a lot of guts. Now, it's just forget about it.
It's not.
You know what I'm saying? Just forget about it. Don't cause any problems. We're good. You know what I mean? Like, because I just don't want the headache. But then what it is, you're going to keep falling for that, or you're going to stand up for something? Because that's where we at right now. Your neighborhoods, where everyone decides they want to move out of these black neighborhoods. I don't want to be around. I heard it a million times from blacks. I don't want to be in these neighborhoods. I'd rather be around whites. You know the funny part about it? Yeah. I was doing some research the other day, and believe it or not, a lot of abandoned buildings in a lot of black neighborhoods are owned by whites, corporations, and different things of that nature.
Yep. So the empty buildings.
Yes.
Listen, my peoples, when you see gentrification going on and they buying it for low, revamping it and selling it for high, or keeping it and keeping it long term, however, do you really think that it's just you or just this? But at the same time, I blame some of my peoples. You know why? Because we've seen it before. You've seen that Jaguar. You've seen that. What's the new joints now? The Hellcats.
Yeah.
Whatever. You know, everybody's.
I didn't know where he was going.
Right? The Hellcats and the Demons or whatever the other ones is called.
I thought you was talking
right?
about the female.
So you talk about an $80,000, $90,000 car sitting in front of what looks like a $20,000 house. Okay?
I saw a Lambo.
Make it make sense. You understand what I'm saying? Like, but the programming is telling you that don't worry about that.
Yeah.
This is what you need right now to get the females and let your man and them at work envy you, and you know, you the man on the block. You got the new Hellcat. You got the whatever. You go to the house is falling apart. Yeah. Now, if we all took a different route on a mental state to say, how much is a 5 gallon of paint? Right?
Yeah.
And $150, $200, $300, depending, whatever, right? You can get that done. You bring up the value in your home, you bring up the value in the neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
But they're smart enough and calculated enough to know that, you know what? Try and figure it out. How you have so many abandoned buildings that's just been sitting there for years, right? And then all of a sudden one day it just pops.
Yeah.
You come back, building's gone, something's moving.
Something going on.
That person sat there and he wait. And then the city is just gonna pay him out.
Mm-hmm.
City's just going, here's a check. But go ahead. I see you want to say something. Go ahead.
No, because that's how we're going to be able to grab a hold of generational wealth. I mean, let me tell you something. This is what they do. Those buildings that you see where you have the whole block that's run down and dilapidated, those buildings are worth zero, just the taxes. So every year there's a tax list that come out. And instead of us getting our nails done, the cost that it costs for us to get our nails done every week, you can buy a whole building. You can buy, or you can trade some stock. Okay, you can trade. You can get some Deep Seek for $122 right now. That's less than the nails. That's less than 2-inch nails. Yeah. And so we have to start thinking that way. And then we also have to start thinking that way when money is not going to mean nothing and bartering is. On how am I going to make ends meet? Right now, I eat an egg every day. I love my 30 packs of eggs.
Oh my God, you rich.
Right now, an 18 pack is $12. So I haven't had an egg in a week. So I'm like, what is going on? I'm going to give me some chickens. And so we got to see this, that now we need eggs. You need egg to bake stuff. You need eggs to cook stuff. So what are we going to do? What's wrong with these eggs? And also, not just eggs. We have to start looking in our own backyards. Everyone has a backyard. If you go in your backyard, I can guarantee you're going to find some medicinal plants where you can leave Big Pharma alone for a little while. Just what's growing, the wild weeds in your yard. I've been an herbalist for 10 years. And you can find yarrow root that can stop gunshots. Okay, it coagulates blood.
Yep.
Milk thistle. Things that we can take to detoxify our liver that we don't need Big Pharma.
Right.
So when we start getting back to the grain of what God made us, herbivores, we don't have carnivorous teeth. So we start eating from the ground and using plants and eating plants, more plants, and growing our stuff. Then we're not going to need Big Pharma. Big Pharma's going to need us.
That comfort zone, though, just keeps spinning in my head. The comfort zone of everybody. I know I can do it, but the comfort zone. Why grow some scallion when can get it at Walmart?
See, but until
the comfort zone
it's
of
no
everyone.
longer available.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's what's about to happen. Because look. You go in a store. I'm a single female, and I spent $200 on vegetables, and I didn't even get my eggs. I'm looking at my refrigerator like this is not going to last me for a month.
That's a fact.
I'm still trying to figure out what's up with eggs.
Because one egg a day, you will live much longer, and one sweet potato a day.
When I went to Cayman. I went to Cayman Islands. I think it was like 2 years ago, something like that. When I went out there, eggs was like $8 or something like that 2 years ago. So I can only imagine what it is now. If eggs here is what it is.
But
believe it or not, it's cheaper.
Cheap. Yeah.
It's cheaper in the Cayman Islands now. A dozen of eggs in Mexico is $1.83.
It's only here.
Only here.
Eggs have a problem only in America.
Nowhere else. Because you got to understand 65% of the eggs that are in America come from Mexico. Okay. The other 15% come from Canada. And the rest are what we have here in the United States and what we get from South America. So when you start doing all these things with people, right? But you can go and check it online and check the prices of eggs throughout the world compared to here.
Even Canada, egg is normal.
Yes, it's and they're just laughing at us. But then the other part is this: the CDC took down the information regarding bird flu, and they're not releasing any information on it. And bird flu has a lot to do with what's going on, but the administration doesn't want to show any of that information.
Shut it down or terminate.
Yeah, but there's one thing that when Kate was speaking, during the pandemic time, if all the people that got their PPP loans and did their PPP scams and all that stuff, if they went back and actually did the stuff that they were talking about, which was buy the block, right now they would have something for that money that they got. And a lot of them have nothing but exorbitant car note for a Hellcat or a Lamborghini truck or something. But when you're talking about investing in something that gives you residual income, they didn't do that. Because understand this, LVMH, which is the people that own Moet, Ace of Spades,
everything,
Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Dior, Tiffany, all those companies during the pandemic had a record high in sales. Okay. And
because people were home to shop.
No.
Oh, PP.
No. A lot of it had to do with PPP loans. So people were going out and getting things that they couldn't get before instead of investing in, right? And you can check it once again. The majority of Black and brown people were the ones that elevated LVMH to
Mhm.
make that the biggest brand
Brand.
right now.
Yeah.
Right now. And if it's only a couple of $1 billion that the owner is off from Elon Musk,
Mhm.
right? But
Wow.
even to the point where John, when you made the point of the Kate made that point as well, of the boarded up old businesses and stuff like that. Liberty City where they had the riots, which were 40 plus years ago.
Mhm.
Okay, that if you go through Liberty City right now, you see a resurgence of those same people that own those same businesses that are popping up right now.
Mhm.
Mm.
They're opening up the doors. It looks like somebody else bought it, but that's the same people that owned it
Owned
forever,
it. Yep. Yep.
right? Here in Miami Gardens is another place where during the pandemic, were opportunity zones that was brought in by Tim Scott,
Mm.
Sambo Tim Scott.
Mhm.
Okay, not Uncle Tom, because people got it messed up. Uncle Tom isn't the one that screwed Black people. It was Sambo, but then they found a way to make it Uncle Tom being the
Tom.
scapegoat, just like woke, and a few other words, right? But the opportunity zones gave the ability for companies to come into inner cities and buy the homes.
Mhm.
So, for example, years ago, when this whole do-it-yourself remodeling on the DIY channel, they had these two Hispanic brothers that were flipping houses.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now those brothers were the ones that first came into Miami Gardens and started buying up the houses.
Mhm.
Mm.
And how they did it, it's even them on YouTube or so you could find them, how they showed
Yeah.
their properties was they had white picket fence and they had white homes with black or gray trimming.
Mm.
And for those of you that drive through Miami Gardens, you could visually see what I'm talking about,
Yeah. Yeah.
because that's steadily going into Miramar and to Pembroke Pines and certain areas, right? And I'm seeing
Okay.
a resurgence of Jewish people coming back.
Back. Yep.
You're seeing a resurgence of what, like, so right now the only black owned business that a shopping center, for example, is Cloverleaf Shopping Center, which is owned by Freezy and Flowrider. That's the
Mm.
only one in the largest black city under Atlanta is Miami
Okay.
Gardens with 180,000 um, black
Resident.
residents, right? But right now, that 180,000 is a lot of Hispanics,
Mhm.
preferably like Cuban. But imagine this: you would not see a big resurgence of black people in Little Havana or Alapata, because
Right.
they wouldn't let it, or Hialeah, So
Because
it is a thing of them taking back a certain area, because we talked about with the TPS and all that stuff with getting rid of people. These were sundown town or sundown areas like Miami Gardens. Miami
Yeah.
Gardens was split between University Drive. Okay, everybody on the west side of University was black. Everybody on the east
on the
side
east side. Yeah.
was white, and
Mhm.
then it went from
Yeah.
white to Italians, because at that
Yeah.
time Italians weren't accepted as being white either. So there was Italians and Jews, and then it went to black, and then it went to Caribbean, and
Mhm.
then all the white and Hispanic. I mean the white people, they all left.
Oh, hold on. Hey, Pete. Okay, he looking at me like, so which one is it? The white, the Jew? Which one?
I tell you what, Jamaicans.
Listen, there's a difference, because you got to remember,
Yeah.
the white people did not accept the Jewish people.
Yeah.
because the
I thought he was saying
NAACP.
I thought he was saying I'm white and I'm Jew
No.
and Caribbean. So
Well,
yo,
beg your pardon.
no, because you said white, he looks at me. Then he said Jew, he looks at me. I'm like,
hey man, listen, man. You know a funny joke, man. I see like my Black American friends, right? When I see light skinned Black American friends, I tell them, hey, you know, some way down the line, you're white. No, listen, what? It is what it is.
That's
I have it in my family.
Kate is not for us.
I have it in the
He's
family.
looking like I want to hear what he's gonna say.
No, I have it in the family.
But we all are, because
Yeah, I
my
have
name
it in
is
the
Kate
family.
Smith, so I know I'm not Dutch.
There you go. So
You know, so we all are, because you got to know, anytime another country or another ethnic group conquered something else, there was rape and pillaging.
there you go.
Okay, so that happened, and just like we had a whole Moorish government here, there was a whole Moorish government and whole empire for up to 800 years in Europe and Spain.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So we can't. No one can deny that, because outside of America, America is the only white people that feel as though that we came from slavery. That's only because I have friends in Denmark that's like, you didn't know that the Black Madonna she's Black, and I said, yes, I know that, but America doesn't. See, we're worshipped in other countries. Why you think the Pope always kissed Michelle Obama's feet?
Wow.
Because the Black Mary is Black, Jesus is Black, Abraham is Black. America's the only one that changed the biblical.
Changed everything.
Yes. And had us worshiping. I don't know. Okay, so but
Don't say
look, I have no filter, and so I'm gonna have to.
Don't. You need to let it out, because people need to hear, understand that.
Yeah, they get a full understanding of how everything really is.
Oh my goodness! Because if we I have some beautiful. See, I collect books, and the same books that they've been banning since I graduated from high school in 19. I won't say okay. Auntie O.
I beg your pardon.
So the same.
In Jamaica, they say 19. How long?
Okay. Ooh, I hate saying, but I'm good with it. But the same. We got to understand. I collect books. I have a collection of almost 800 books. Okay. Because they've been banning books. Trump in the last election, when Trump was in administration, before he gave them the cojones to say we banning books, but they've been banning books, because all of my books because both of my sons live in Florida. So where I purchased my books from was from thrift shops and yard sales in Florida. I have the original brand new Billie Holiday cassette disc with 4-track for $2. So she didn't know what she had. So because I knew, I'm like, Billie Holiday, oh my goodness. And so Louis Armstrong stuff, I'm not gonna listen to it, but I like bags, and bags cost money. And so I invest in books. And those books, before, they didn't do what the Santas did and take them to landfills. They took them to warehouses. And they stacked them, and they allowed people to come and get them for free.
Okay.
So Baltimore has a big warehouse called the Book Thing, with books from the universities, books from the bookstores, all are just stored there, and you can take a van and get what you want. Man. So I would go every couple of months and spend hours. So the books by W.E.B. Du Bois, the ISIS Papers, those are books that we weren't supposed to read. Noble Drew Ali. Those are books we're not supposed to read. The Ethiopian Bible. Okay, I don't know if everyone, if you have a university in your community and you have a library card for the local library, you have access to that university's library of rare books. So it's no excuse to be dumb in it.
Right.
It's no
now,
excuse.
just
And by having that library
replace
card, you can even
5
visit the
university
Library of
presidents with
Congress.
handpicked individuals from DeSantis. And what he's doing is the same thing that he did to this private university called New College, where they went in just like they did at University of Florida, and they took out all the books dealing with race, any truth telling. You won't find a Langston Hughes book in any of the Florida universities or libraries by July or May is the date that they set. Langston Hughes, E.B. Du Bois, Baldwin. You're not gonna
Yeah, but
None of those.
it's still no excuse. It's no excuse for us. Okay, so it's no excuse. I'm just gonna put it out there. It's no excuse for us to get slaughtered. Okay,
Right.
because there's knowledge out here. That's why it's no excuse. We're wasting time watching gossip, watching rumors, watching other people's business. When
100%.
those people business we watching, they rich enough to fly out the country. Because when the shit hit the fan, we not gonna be able to just fly out the country. Do you know how many lines gonna be at the airport unless you got your own jet? We gonna have to be boots on the ground. Everybody gonna have to pluck these nails off and go get your gun. And we're not talking about single bullet. We're talking about recoil, okay? We're not talking about where you, I can shoot a gun. No, you can't. Everything will have to come off. You're going to take the eyelashes off so you can see. Because I tried that. I tried when I was trying to hunt to see. I couldn't see. So I had to take them off. I came out, I hunted, I shot my deer, but I had one eyelash on. Because
Can I ask you a question?
Off to see. So we're going to have to stop all this stupidity. Okay, because it's going to be times that we're going to have to come together as a village, white, black, Hispanic, all races,
everyone,
all nationalities, all ethnic groups as one. Because only people we supposed to be fighting, the only thing we supposed to be fighting is aliens from another planet.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to be fighting what's already here, what we've been rocking with forever.
That's what John be talking about.
AP had a question for you, Kate. Go ahead, AP.
Yes, I'm sorry.
So there's this thing that I try to instill in these kids at a mentoring program that we do at Miami Central High School, is to let these kids know that them getting in trouble at 18 years old is a plan. Them getting in trouble before they turn 18 years old is a plan when it comes to their right to be able to bear arms. That is a plan because they don't want our kids to have guns, right? But they steady have their kids with guns, right? And there's this psyche of some of our elders that are like, oh, guns, oh no. But man, they need to be well aware and have the ability to use a gun, clean a gun, manage know how to gun, and just know by 17 years old, I had shotguns because in Florida you could buy them at 16 years old. Right?
Because let me tell you what our counterparts are doing. At 7, every Walmart, at 7 years old, every Walmart has a line of young people purchasing guns for their child, 7-year-old, because they're going to learn how to hunt. But on those deer posts, it's not pictures of deers. It's rappers. It's rappers. It's athletes. Because I happen to be invited to a cookout.
The targets.
Yes, and I happened to be invited to a cookout and was taken on a 4-wheeler riding around this beautiful property. And I'm like, why you have Run DMC? Why I ain't even hear nothing. Why they got? And he was like, oh, those are just Target. I thought we hunting deer. And it was like it's Target for, and then he didn't know what to say because they forgot I was black for that moment because when they invited me to their little party. And it was whole like Get Out, but it was like they was like showing me why you got rappers. You know, what about Eminem and and Macklemore? Why you got? I don't see no white rappers.
Yeah.
See, but this is the thing. This is the thing where a lot of our people, again, you know, with platforms like this, with people like us, the discussions we're having all the time, it's like it's why isn't it more widespread? There's a reason why it's suppressed. There's a reason for all this. And AP, you and I know, again, speaking on the rappers, again, we know that this is all by design. Again, all these different things. We're seeing so many of these young people now that are falling to the wayside as far as
TikTokers and
their lives are gone. Family don't know who owned the rights to anything. A lot of them died with nothing because they spent whatever they had. And there's no one that's sitting in the back and saying, yeah, something's wrong with this. This is not making any sense. On and on and on. Like you don't see it. Like something's not making sense here. And you know, the sad part about it, like I used to do these programs, FCAD programs, same way. And I tell these young kids all the time, I'm like, listen, it's by design. You got to understand something. They're not going to tell us to stop making these type of music because in order for that executive to live in that house up on top of the hill, far away from us, you're supplying him with that lifestyle. You're not, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You don't get it. You don't get it.
But we're not getting that. January 20th. Let me peek this right here. January 20th, when that man signed those papers, 6,000 new white supremacy organizations formed. Okay, and we talking about Crip walking and Bloods and MS-13. They have nothing on those.
Nothing on them. Yeah.
Nothing on them. Nothing on, because some of those are prior snipers from the military. Okay, they've been training. For this time. They've been training just for this to take over. That's going to be his new army, because a lot of our military men and women are of color, and if they're not of color, they still are human beings and feel as though I bleed just like that next man, and that's my brother. So they're not going to side with that hate. And then you best believe all of my friends and family and uncles and aunts with interracial relationships, that white person that they're married to or dating, their family, if you don't have a grandchild, that family is kind of teeter-tottering. But let me tell you what breaks that teeter-totter: a grandchild. Now, and I'm not saying it because that witch is a witch, or my daughter-in-law's mother. But I've seen people go from hating. I've seen people go from hating a race to loving a race based on their grandchild. You know, I've seen that. I had to, in order to live inside of Sundown County for 5 years, I had to find what we had in common. So that's how we coexisted. So what we had in common, they like to hunt, I like guns.
Okay.
So you like the Ohio
and so
people.
They was like, you want to go hunting? Yeah. I didn't trust them. They didn't trust me.
So earlier you said about your son, what do you call him, a tissue? Some guys I know are
tissue. And I don't know. I think it's that Florida water, because they live in Florida.
I beg your pardon.
Please don't do that.
Wait a minute, I'm about to. I think it's that Florida water. Because when my sons was here in North Carolina, or no, because we're originally from Jersey, so you know they wasn't into snow bunnies. They was African bend bodies and big booties and all of, and I'm gonna eat a cupcake and everything. And then went to Florida for some type of spring break and never came back. Was like, I'm not leaving.
Oh, but maybe it's mommy.
That sound like bike week.
Yeah, but you know what? You
and look, and even what's going on right now, I can't pull. You know, one of them, he travels, so you know, Florida is just because he's bilingual, so he lived in Hacienda, hence the town you mentioned, and he loved it, and they loved him, and so because he speaks 5 languages, and so
Hialeah.
But the other one, he just loves Florida. Yes, he lived there. Yes.
But
And like and that son, I know that's why I have Duolingo on my phone, because he says, Mom, you're gonna have to learn another language in order to communicate with your grandkids. So I understand that with him. My youngest one, he has a snow bunny, and she's beautiful. And I have beautiful, she's a wonderful mother, and I don't take that from her. But I have to, and I remind her, even though she was like, why this little patch won't lay down? Because he's more Muskogee Creek Indian, Guyanese, Black. That's not laying down. Okay, how much gel you put on that? It's gonna just come right back.
How comes
that coil?
Got that alfalfa.
Mommy's so strong and these boys comes different. Maybe it's your strength.
Because I spoil. But you know, they're strong in other ways.
Yeah,
because like they're like, one is a musical genius, and he's excellent with the languages. He's linguistic and very linguistic, and then my daughter is very musical, and so and my daughter has the same as myself, but I mean, I guess they were raised.
Did she marry a white guy?
She married a white woman.
Okay.
Yeah.
He said okay.
But listen, Kate, what you were saying earlier when we started.
But she has a beautiful. But look, they're no longer married. Oof, prayer, God is good. You hear me? God and white sage. I just sage it all away. But
you have a point when you said earlier that your sons made that decision because they did not want to really be challenged with a Black woman, and that's what I see a lot of those young.
And we have
Black
done that.
Kids,
We as
that's
Black
what
women
doing.
need to apologize to our sons for the anger we had because we were single moms.
Yeah, because that's what they're looking at, and they're like, no, I don't want. I love my mom, I love my aunt, I love my grandma, but I don't want that in my relationship.
Yes, and I respect that. I respect I respect them for saying that. And you know, it took me a long time. Like, my kids are grown. I've been, my kids have been grown a long time. Like, my son is almost 40, and so it took me a long time to want to let go of all of that armor, trying to be a warrior princess all the time. And I just wanted to be a princess. I didn't want to be a warrior. I wanted someone else to be a warrior. I wanted the man to be my king and to be a warrior. So when I meet that person, I already have that feminine essence, because we're born that way. That's why our bodies rotate just like the moon. Okay, that goddess energy that's in us. But we have to let down that masculinity and always wanting to be Miss Rah-Rah and be gentle and be more submissive, because that's a beautiful thing. And I hate that it took me to get 56 years old. I don't say it my age. Grandma don't date over 40, so I ain't trying to put my business out. Grandma like I'm young.
Wow. That's why you came out here looking like that, right, Grandma? I see.
Auntie, no grandma. Auntie look like this every day. I wake up like this.
Okay, Auntie Kate. Okay,
Auntie Kate. You know, I just had, but you know, but for real, until we have to stop. Women, we have to stop, and we think by shaking our bodies and exposing our bodies is making us feminine. It's not. That's loose. That's lucivity. That's short-lived. That's ugly. Yes, that doesn't look like a queen or look like a princess or look like somebody that's feminine. You know that you have to get attention that way. You can cover up and still get that same attention. So because now I get more attention with my voice, and when I'm talking intellectually, stimulating someone's mind and stimulating their pants.
Hey.
All right. So in closing now, let me ask the $1 million question. with the information that's given and all that we know now, and I hope for a better future plan, can we realistically say that our people will finally get it and we can really, really look forward to making a grand change on thing, or is it just high hopes?
I'll let Kate go first.
I think we can change. I think I'm looking forward to change. I know we are a wonderful group of people, and once one reach one, teach one.
Yeah.
It's gonna grow, but regardless, we still gotta be there. Especially the OGs, the originals. We have to be there because we are the legacy builders now.
Okay, AP.
Yes, I do think that we can, but we need to make the shift change as to our leaders and who they're trying to make our leaders for us. Kodak Black is not a leader for us.
Facts.
Tiger Woods is not a leader for us. And
Facts.
if you've seen in the past day, those two individuals were the ones being propped up at the White House. One that said that he's not black for years, said he was Palapelagian or something like that, right? But like a lot of people saying he's black, but Kamala Harris isn't, you know. So there's a shift that needs to happen with having our leaders be other than entertainers,
right?
Because we have scholarly people that are in the place. One of the people that I think is a great example of that was a great example was Dr. Ben Carson. If it wasn't for Dr. Ben Carson, there really wouldn't have been any separation of conjoined twins in the world. But he was masqueraded around to just run HUD instead of putting him in the place that he should have been, which would have been the Surgeon General, for example, right? So we need to stop accepting the things that they're giving us and stop fighting for things that really don't matter. We shouldn't be really fighting. I'm sorry, this might offend people. We shouldn't be fighting over DEI stuff at all. Because you know why? We were the least group in America that benefited from it.
That's facts.
Okay, the least group that benefited from it. And when they reverse and do the things that they're doing right now and saying merit-based, and it's just like they said DEI was, people think that DEI is a thing of taking individuals that have less talent than. No, that just meant that if I had the same amount of talent or more, you have to look at me. It's same like the Rooney Rule in NFL. So it is for us to have a game plan with our leaders and start dealing with legislation and policy, because at the end of the day, nothing changes unless it's a law or you have legislators and lobbyists to be able to change things in your areas, right? And local government is always the biggest catalyst for change. It's not at the presidency, no matter what you're looking at, because what they haven't said is half of those executive orders that have been written up, half of them ain't even going through. But they got the psyche in the mind of everybody like, oh, look, yeah, it's working. You know? But
and that's
hey,
all
man,
they need.
If we do get that $5,000 stimmy that's being floated around, I would hope that people take those monies and do group funding. I mean, group collective. What do they call it? Kate, I know you the word. You know the word. One of y'all know that word when we all come together. Collective.
Partner.
No. When we bring the money
I know.
together,
I'm messing with you.
You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'll give you an example. If you have a group of Cuban people in a house, right? If there's 8 of them inside the house, those 8 people
I know what
collectively
you're talking about.
pool their monies together to help each one get a house.
Purchase a house.
I've watched this.
Yeah.
I've watched it. Collective economics.
Mexican.
There you go.
Mexican, yeah.
But I see.
But
okay, Q.
yeah, on my point of view on this now,
It'll take some
Are we
time,
all-
but
Rabbit.
are we OGs? Me and you sitting in the chair. We OGs?
getting scammed. But the
I'm a young
biggest
G.
scammers, the biggest scammers of entertainers and athletes are white people that scam them out their money. But
Yeah.
they won't do something for one of their brothers or family members. But some of these young basketball players or football players are opening up their eyes and seeing that I don't need to have this dude come get 20% right off the top
It's
if
those
I know I'm
financial
going to go.
planners.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, financial
it's
planners.
good financial planners, man. Good financial planners, because listen, you could have one black guy that has a bad situation and they'll never go back to him. But Drew Rosenhaus, who's had terrible situations with a bunch of athletes, can still get the top athletes because they think that that's the way to go, so it's enlightening other people as well, man. Leadership, enlightenment, and understanding that our leaders are not just entertainers.
So hold
Yeah.
on, Q. You
Yeah, I was asking you earlier
were OGs?
if me and you, we OGs?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're a part of it also then. To try to teach
Mm-hmm.
the younger ones
Mm-hmm.
and let them know, although we're on this platform trying to do it, but
Mm-hmm.
we're not gonna get the tune into it
Right,
to listen.
Right.
But what I'm saying, what AP said earlier, I'm looking at the X picture
Mm-hmm.
and it says what?
By any means necessary.
Necessary. And I also remember a speech he made letting us know that comedians are not our
Leaders, yeah.
athletes,
Yeah.
musician. You will never see that
Mm-hmm.
in the white race. But we look up to them like they're leaders for us. We have our own work to do, is what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We have our own work to do. Like how AP was saying, Kodak Black, they have him like a mascot. Is what I'm saying?
For me, I see things a little different. I'm not a pessimist at the same time, but for me, I think that we have a lot of work ahead of us. And the only way that a lot of this stuff that we're discussing right now can happen is if collectively we come together. And those that don't want to come together with us, we just got to leave them. Because you're going to have those that just don't want to fit in. They don't want to conform with us and to find that better road. They're perfectly fine where they are and blah, 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 and all this stuff. And that's the thing with it. So you have those, and then you have the other ones on the other side that is looking to just tear it down once you start to build it. So it's the reality of things. But again, I'm not saying that we can't get to the promised land, but I know realistically, we got a lot of hard work ahead of us in order for that to happen. And the reality is right in front of us, because again, with platforms like this and other platforms, I heard Roland Martin speak about this. And Roland Martin said the same exact things we said on the same platform about 2 weeks prior to him. Yo, why are black people not really focused on what's going on and what's about to happen? They're more interested on dancing on TikTok and all these different things, and they're not. And Roland Martin is going at it, and I'm like, yo, Roland Martin right now should be like way more
Man,
than where he's at, right?
From January.
But because
20.
again, and he's been on big platforms.
Yeah.
He himself.
Yeah.
You understand? But why isn't he the same way when you'll have these people from Fox and CNN and all these other ones that are doing things? Because again, it's by design. You understand? But that's not to say that we can't overcome. But again, it's going to take us teaming up with Roland, teaming up with that one, teaming up with this one in order for us to bring all that together in one, instead of us trying to work. I'm over here, he's over here, that one's over there. But when we band together, like they say, when the twine start moving like this, they already know. Once we start going like this, it's hard for you to break that.
Yeah.
But once we're separated, it's easier.
Every
You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I'm just hoping for my people to just understand that, yo, when we give you these information, and again, for all the Caucasians that are out there, we do not want you to feel as if this is something where we're just drilling something in on you. No, it's unity and strength. But you have to understand that it is part of the history.
Yeah.
There is no denying any of this stuff. We're not making these things up. You may feel a certain way, but that's nothing that we can do. And if you feel a certain way, how do we feel? Think about that. Because if it was reversed, yeah, it'd be a different movement, right?
Yeah.
So this is what I'm saying to you. Put yourself in the other individual's shoes before you start to, oh, they're like this and they're like that. Rewind the tape and understand who's the one putting the information out. Who's the one putting the drugs in the neighborhood? Who's the one holding down this? Who's the one redlining? Who's the one? Why is all this going on? And if that's the case, what are you afraid of? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What are you afraid of? That's all. I got to find that out. So I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. Kate.
Thank you.
Yo, we got to put another one together.
Yes.
We'll come together
Love
with a
you
different
all.
one.
Thank you.
We're going to drop something else. AP, again, brother, love is love as always.
100.
Q,
Yeah.
OG,
blessings.
OG, you getting older.
Yeah.
Black IT, thank you as always for putting the technical parts of it together, yo.
Yeah.
And shout out to everybody else out there. Please do the knowledge, please. Sundown Town, 2025 Sundown Town. The map is out, okay?
Look it up.
Information is right there for you. So chill. Of all, yo, number
Crystal.
one family. So chill's here
Trista.
every single Friday.
Thank
Okay?
you, Phil.
Every
Simone.
Friday. Simone, everyone.
Family.
Crystal,
Crystal.
everyone. Crystal, Jonice, family for life. Always. Thank you so much.
We appreciate it.
Check out
And
the
Jerry West.
Sundown Town. Jerry West, of course. Yes. Check out the Sundown Town Project, please. Check out the Sundown Town Map Project at gmail.com. All the Sundown Town information is available as well. We will post it as well, but it's out there.
And don't be surprised.
Do your due diligence. It is out there. Don't be surprised if
You
you're
live
sitting in one. You know what I'm saying?
If you're living in one.
So, you know, but do the math, man.
Yeah.
Do the knowledge. And like Kate said, yo, there should be no excuse why you're holding yourself back. So to everyone out there, please join us every Friday night live at the Barbershop, 9 p.m. every Fridays. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Subscribe. Hit the notification bell, please. Spread the word. And most of all, please, get off the couch and go out in the world and be somebody. Okay? God
Yes.
damn it. Because if you ain't, I'm doing it.
Yo.
Go out in the world and be somebody.